can see, and here we are. Welcome everyone to game 1 in this best of 3 series in round 2 of the Ayre Age League. This series is being played between LaaaaaN and BacT. Both these players won their most previous set in this tournament. So the winner of this series proceeds to the playoffs. Loser isn't eliminated, but has to play an extra round to get to the playoffs. I don't know if I said the names of the players. It's BacT versus LaaaaaN. I think I did. BacT's in the blue. He's somewhat towards the center of the map. The map's Bedouin, so it's a nomad start. And he's playing as the Chinese, and LaaaaaN is towards he's more so on the bottom side of the map, in the red, playing as the Lithuanians. Now, in chat you can see that they're saying not too much lag, but a bit yes. The patch, the most recent patch had come out. Nice response by BacT. The patch had only just come out pretty much, and it was causing a little bit of lag problems, but I think they've hotfixed it since. Particularly when it came to ping, I noticed between the players that they were struggling with their ping showing up correctly. But it's fine, they played on. I don't think it affected the series too much. Now,
let's hope so at least.
Now, Bedouins is a map which has a whole bunch of these little fish ponds with heaps of shorefish in them. Why is that important, you may ask? Well, shorefish with villages is the fastest gather rate of food in the game, bar the Indians' fish bonus, which is even faster. This is also why you don't see the players using their sheep as a source of food. You see them using them more so as scouts, which means their villagers can focus on getting the faster food collection rate. You're likely to see uptimes near the 16 to 17 villager mark on this map, and we're likely to see scouts from both players looking at the civs. Also seeing that there's a scout villager for BacT, which I find interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking so as well. It's just went forward like so far, then saw the boar and decided to go back.
I think he was looking for a secondary pond so he could mill later, but it looks like he's just happy to mill the pond at home for the moment. That pond is going to run out very quickly though. He should probably look to go towards the eastern side of the map to look for extra ponds. Now, when it comes to strategy between these two players, I mentioned scouts already. It's likely that both players open with scouts, as this map likes high mobility. We could also see BacT go for some form of tower play. He has built right next to a stone, although so is LaaaaaN, so both players could go for some form of tower play. I'd also like to point out that BacT's gold that he's got right next to him is much safer than the gold of LaaaaaN. LaaaAN's gold being a little bit further forward, and that's just the give and take you get when you build on the edge of the map. You're likely to have your gold and your stones more exposed, but then of course you have a safer base in general because you can wall easier.
Yeah, but also you have the advantage of having an easy wall to your town center for the wood line.
Exactly.
Because as you can see, the wood line is very thick on the outside of the map, and it's likely that you will end up having to go there anyway for wood at some point.
Yes, this wood line is arena-esque in terms of its generation. It spawns all the way around the outside, and well, it becomes the main source of wood. These middle forests, they're relatively large, but they don't last too long. What do you think about the Civ matchup here? Oh, there's a 2 villager lead.
I'm actually, well, the 2 villager lead is because of the Chinese bonus of having 3 extra villagers, isn't it?
Yes, no, that is correct. I realised as I was saying, ooh. Um,
So that's something you can expect here. The question now is, when will they click up? BacT is about to at 20 pop right now, and LaaaN is at 19 pop now and clicked up. So the villager difference is only 1, but wait, why is BacT up later now?
he was idle. It's been a bit of a
Oh,
mistake from BacT. Yeah, I think he was trying to force drop off the amount of resources.
oh, but you can see LaaaN's villagers don't have loom right now.
Also true.
So that's something to point out. So if there's a fast aggression, it will be very much in favor of BacT, because those villagers will die so fast, so quickly. In general, the matchup, I am. We were talking about it before, that BacT lost to Chinese before on this map, didn't pick Indians, even though he has them as an option. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen here. The first few minutes will probably be scout play, but in the later stages,
Now,
as I'm looking for what they're doing, there's actually an archery range coming up
okay,
for BacT,
I don't mind that.
but he's not on gold yet. That's what I find curious. Why is he not on stone yet, on gold yet, when he's going for the archery range?
He's got an archer and a
Is he just
skirmisher queued
is he
up.
just going to play defense?
I mean,
He has the big wards already. He's going for the really big wards right now.
could be trying to fastish castle. He doesn't quite have the resources for it though, so it's unlikely. Spearman
It's probably just
pushes the
getting
scout
up
away.
faster to make his opponent think he's doing something, walling up behind all of this.
Does look
So
like
it's
he's
kind
going
of
for
a
full trash.
mind game. Yeah, for the moment he's just going to go for the trash. As he's quick walling the right side, trying to get himself safe.
Well, he will be fully walled now. I don't see any holes in his walls, so
No,
he'll be feeling safe and confident.
if only he knew that LaaaN didn't have his loom ready at the start of Feudal Age.
I mean, it's yeah, I agree. Because if he knows, then he goes forward for sure. But he didn't, because he didn't have the scouts and he didn't see he couldn't see the HP. LaaaN is up to Castle Edge.
Now we see the power of Shawfish. Well, he only did make one one scout as well, which he threw away at the moment.
That will be telling BacT so much, though. The fact that there's only one scout, and also he's 200 score behind. These players, even though there's a big experience gap between them, they're still very evenly matched.
Yes, very
and
much so.
and so, the fact that LaaaN is currently 250 score behind, almost 230 maybe. It does tell BacT that he's up.
The scout that he made, so his scouting wouldn't be worse than BacT's. Very probably, at least.
Looking at the scouting,
Confirm.
It looks about the same, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
He's going to have such a big technological advantage. He'll be behind in villages, well, for the most part of the next 15 minutes, but Siege Workshop being built by LaaaN, and actually in response to that, we're seeing stone walls being built. by
Yeah, I was just about to say that. There are
by
stone walls coming from BacT.
yeah.
And he's not close to Castle Age yet. Even though he has 13 villagers on the shorefish.
It is something we saw in round one. It took him a very long time to get out of Fuel Age. Admittedly, last week he went for a big tower play instead of, well, this trash. I like how he's taking different approaches. LaaaaaN trying to build a monastery. Now, I just want to take a moment to talk about the Lithuanians' more important bonus. For every relic up to 4, they get +1 attack bonus damage. Oh, not bonus damage. And then added +1 attack added to their base plus the upgrades in the blacksmith. And that is up to a maximum of 4. And for that to really be effective, I tend to say that as a general rule of a minimum of 2 relics needed for that to be particularly effective. As we see that manga down.
Yeah, mostly so in the end game when they come into play.
Yeah.
Against archers.
Mass cavalier, yeah. I don't know if we'll get there though. But Castle Age Town Centre is being threatened. It's being repaired, but still threatened.
We also see the first monk for LaaaaaN, which is not actually going for the relic, which is 8 tiles away from the monastery.
LaaaN's in.
And
LaaaN's being out again.
And thinks better of it. Too many spearmen for him to take advantage of the fight there.
He doesn't have the upgrades for the to run into the TC yet either, so
yeah,
he's more than happy to just sit back and relax. BacT will get up to Castle Age, and I expect him to do crossbow and adding a siege workshop of his own.
He's going for the siege workshop, which he denies himself with his own army. Now they start. So the second monk going forward, still not getting the relic, not going for the +1 on the knights. But he's not using the monks in the front as well, since there's no units that he can actually convert. His opponent has a crossbow, skirms, only cheap units, so it doesn't make much sense. Did he get redemption already? Do you know?
I don't think so.
I can take a look. I don't think so either.
As we see Mangonel coming out now. Could see a big shot. LaaaaaN smart and splits the Mangonels. Also good micro by LaaaaaN. Gets a pretty good shot on BacT's army there. Takes it down by about half. And well, the knights are now able to just run in. So Scorpions trundle past the town centre. That's about to go down. And well, BacT calls GG. That was looking very dire. And well, BacT's like, I've had enough. That was fast.
It was really fast.
That heated up very quickly. I saw the 3 Mangonels. I was like, actually, that town center's going to go down. Please tell me BacT's building more. But I don't think he could because he invested so much stone into these walls.
Yes, he went for the much stone walls and also the repairs on his town center, the play with the siege workshop, which cost him the wood as well. It was a very fast game.
It was very well played by LaaaaaN, recognizing that he can probably take down the town centre. He probably didn't know how much BacT had invested into his into his walls. But I mean, pressuring the town centre is good nonetheless, and then, well, because he can't afford another one, it just makes sense for BacT to call the game right there. Otherwise, he's going to be behind for the rest of the game, and he's been in that position before, actually, this tournament, so I don't know if the Bedouins pick is working out for BacT. He's lost on it twice now. May need to think about a different home map. Oh,
Maybe he's going to do so next week.
Perhaps. It's entirely possible. I'd like to see him chuck more of these crazy maps in there. Maybe he should go for Sunburn next week. That would be... If he shows up next week or the next round he's in.
For now, let's think that he is going to.
He is behind. He does have to reverse sweep LaaaN to get through to the playoffs this week. Have a look at the statistics very, very briefly. I won't say it was a dominant game by LaaaN. It was just heated up really quick. BacT wasn't particularly behind.
Well, it's just the castle age timing, isn't it?
I think so.
Just to take advantage. It's 5 minutes. Which I wonder how that happened, actually. I mean, 5 minutes later to Castle Age with the same resources available.
The reason... okay, the same resources were available, but they were going for differing strategies, right? BacT wanted to do a little bit of damage. Admittedly, he went for trash instead of going on to gold early. I think he meant to go to gold early, but then just forgot to. BacT ended up going for scums and spears, which is not very good. But it seemed like he wanted to do genuine damage with his feudal aggression, and then, well, if he went to gold earlier, he would be able to do said damage with his feudal aggression, and, well, LaaaN would have been dead by the time he hit Castle Age. Going fast castle like that without walls, without any form of protection, when your opponent's gone fast feudal with you, it's very risky.
Yes, it's very risky, but having no archers in the group, only the trash units.
Yeah, that did really hurt. It really hurt BacT. I think it comes down to the fact that he may have just simply forgotten to go to gold. Right, well, the next map is Scandinavia. Actually, what we will do is we'll have a brief look at the draft real quick, and we'll eliminate Chinese and Lithuanians for both the players. I definitely think we'll see Mongols on the next map.
Yes, I think so as well.
What BacT plays in response, I don't know. His safe pick here is Indians, but
why would you pick Indians here?
Against the Mongols.
Indians going to go so fast, so long that
it's possible. It is very possible. Scandi is a very aggressive map. Don't get me wrong, but okay, with the assumption that it goes to like Castle Age and onwards, Indians should come out better than Mongols. If LaaaN is able to just step on the gas and never come off from early feudal onwards, I think Mongols will come out on top. Assuming he goes Mongols. He could throw something interesting or perhaps stupid like humans or Khmer in there. We'll have to see.
I'm very much in the favor of Mongols here. I think he will take advantage of the hunt.
For sure.
And for BacT, you said it earlier, he could make it messy on Scandinavia because the land map is smaller than usual thanks to the water on the sides, and you know pretty much where your opponent is at that point. So maybe he's going to try and make Scandinavia very messy.
No, I've just realised. I think I gave. I did. I gave BacT the point instead of LaaaN. I apologise about that. I'm going to fix that now before we get into the next game. There we are. Fixed. I'm going to load into the next game now, which is on Scandinavia. I'll pause it ASAP. I'm at 2 seconds. I don't know about you.
Okay, I'm loading in. And pause. Okay, I'm at 1 second.
Sweet as. We'll get into this. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. And I will change the screen and welcome everyone to the second game of this best of 3 series between BacT and LaaaN in round 2 of the Swiss stage of the Ayre Age League. BacT is in the blue and the... Is it top or is it right hand side of the map? One of those. Playing
right.
as the in, because he's more so towards... Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And in the... That's definitely the left corner of the map, or as far as you can get on Scandinavia. We have LaaaN playing in the red as the Mongols. Scandinavia is one of those... it's the only hybrid map in the map pool, actually. It's a big strip of land in the middle, as we have sheep crossing each other's paths. The players aren't that close together. Oh! BacT is forward with his scout. He's looking to find one of the boar, which would actually level out the playing field. He's right next to one. We'll keep an eye on that. There's a big strip of land in the middle of the map, and we've got 2 strips of water on the outside with a bunch of fish in there. We will see players going for that. But for the moment, it's about the large numbers of hunt that is around the map as BacT tries to get a hit on the scout. He's very close.
But not exactly getting there yet. But...
A little bit of a doink off happening on that hill. Players start with 1 extra boar, as they would on Arabia, and they also start with about 4 extra deer, or 3, depending on if you start with 6 or 8. It looks like they're starting with 8 here, so there's a lot of hunt, which is why you see LaaaN picking Mongols for this map. Mongols have 40% faster gather rate from all hunt.
Something we didn't talk about is LaaaN actually went for the first boar right at the start of the game. Didn't go for a sheep very much. He only started it and went with his 3rd villager right straight to the boar, as he knows he has 3 boars and he wants to take extra advantage of his faster gathering rate.
15-second lag. Okay.
Let's try. That's not something I would say.
Oh.
That boar is getting stolen right now.
Okay, I feel like BacT's taking advantage of the lag problems that they're having. Admittedly, he said he couldn't focus either, but I mean, clearly he can. LaaaN will try to bring his scout in to get the boar back, but I think it'll be too late.
He doesn't even know where he's going. He didn't scout that much forward.
He
doesn't know where.
He has a general idea. He's trying to find it, and he has seen it now. For a second, I thought BacT was going to use the line of sight of the wolves to help him. He needs to make sure he stops in time to get that, to make sure that boar stays aggroed onto him. Remember, it's only 3 tiles.
He also made
line
the
of
militia
sight
to scare away the scout.
Oh, and the boar gets blocked. If he's not careful, the scout will go down as well. Well, I mean,
Okay, the
it's
4 is going back,
it's
but
still damage
it's
done
late.
to LaaaN for sure. He will get that boar later on. He's also going to gold now. Now,
BacT only going for the dock at this moment, while LaaaN already has one fishing ship out.
oh yeah, no,
But
it's very important to note that actually because LaaaN's going to get a big advantage on the water. Something that the players are going to have to think about as the game goes on.
actually, I don't think he has that much of an advantage on water because he invested into the mill. He had to use 100 wood, which he couldn't use for a fishing ship. And then he saw the militia from BacT and made his own barracks, another 175 wood he didn't want to invest. So he doesn't have that much of an advantage on water right now.
He's also not making
mean,
any more fishing ships, so
yeah,
maybe he's not committing. I don't know about that. The water is very important on Scandi, as we have a militia chase.
yes, but it's 3 militia against 2, so BacT's militia will just run away. I don't think he wants to make any more.
I feel like
He also doesn't have the gold for it.
no, he doesn't have the gold for it. That is true. I feel like he's building a mining camp now. I think it's
He seems a bit all over the place.
he does. Wolf comes in to
He
join
has
the
2
fight.
fishing now.
I feel like Incas
So,
definitely want to be adding men-at-arms. Or researching men-at-arms.
well, not anymore.
He's gonna
Back,
lose the militia to wolves.
yeah, but I think he lured the 2 extra wolves to his own militia because he knew he can't win the fight, so might as well distract LaaaN's militia with the wolves.
I think LaaaN recognizes that's just funny.
Those militia are gonna get in, I think. And
No,
oh,
that's fine. BacT's onto it, even with their lag problems. I mean, it's still open. Very open, actually, but
yeah, the first palisade isn't actually built right next to the barracks.
oh yeah, I didn't see that actually. I was more so
That's kind of
looking
funny.
at the big wide open space at the bottom of the town centre. I didn't actually notice that there's a hole in the wall. There's another hole in the wall somewhere.
Well, anyways, those militia got in and they denied the deer for now.
They get quick walled
But
out.
up comes the archery range.
Inca archers. Interesting. We have a galley being made by LaaaN somewhere. Which is fair enough.
Well, he only has 1 dock, so
What are these walls?
it's gonna be patrolling around his dock probably to see if BacT is trying to make another dock on on the other lake, so on LaaaN's lake. LaaaN being housed for now. Well, BacT won't have a problem with being housed for the time being, having to house walls so often. Also with the Inca bonus of having 10 pop space in one house.
True.
He won't be housed for until he's Castle Age.
Speaking of the Castle Age, LaaaN's up again at a relatively early time. Second game in a row that he's done this. BacT is up as well. He's going to be up so much faster. I feel like that's due to the better fish. Now, I say better fish. BacT has been gathering from these shore fish with fishing ships, which is not efficient at all. He wants to be taking the deep sea fish. And well, ACCM's been doing that with a lot more fishing ships, as he's got full control of that top pond or strip of water.
Yeah, it's how many fishing ships is this? 6, 7, and he's making more docks.
Now something I want to.
Searching gill nets.
Ah yes, his fish boom is going to be nuts. Now something I want to point out, because we didn't touch on that at the beginning of the game. LaaaN's map is so much better. BacT's got this one disgusting woodline that is his only real accessible woodline. He's got this gold, which is in the woodline, to the bottom of his TC, and to that top woodline as well. Very exposed, very forward, and he's got his base is very open on the front as well. It's just yuck. That's about the best adjective I can use. Whereas,
well, he could have gone for a little bit more forward walls.
That is true.
He made it very, very close to his TC and made it even more awkward than it should have been. I mean, the woodline is true. If LaaaN ever decides to go for ranged units and stays behind this woodline, it's almost over.
Even a tower would just get rid of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, admittedly, towers against Stinkers is never going to go well, but I say never is going to go well. It's unlikely that works out in the opposing player's favour. Inca player building a monastery as he comes forward.
Now my question is, why is LaaaN making a siege workshop at home, building a monastery, not a monastery, a mangonel?
It's obviously to deal with those wolves. Oh, what a shot!
What does he have against wolves?
Well, they attack his villages.
It was so nice.
No, I don't understand the siege workshop at home. Maybe a little bit of paranoia of playing against Incas. He does have a villager coming forward, so he may be looking to rebuild that siege workshop somewhere in the middle of the map. Or build a second one, rather. He does have knights coming forward as well.
He's going for the stable in the middle of the map. And here comes his mangonel and Scorpion not protecting his villager.
Oh, good shot. Good shot.
At least they were too late.
They were too late.
The villager is dead, but so are
he's
4 archers, I think.
He's just going to bring his next villager he makes forward.
Yeah.
So, or he's going to bring 2 forward, actually, from somewhere.
Those crossbows are going to die soon.
Yeah, they're not going to stay alive for very much longer. Now, BacT's been idle for a bit of time. Building his second town centre. I don't see his third just yet. I want to have a look at LaaaN's base. He's only on 1 TC, but remember, he's building a second now as well. But remember, he's got 3 docks on the top side, and he's fishing like crazy, so he doesn't... Ah, I see he doesn't need to be making TCs. No, he definitely needs to be making TCs so he can get a bit of wood and gold income. Third town centre being built by BacT. So those 2 villages come forward. Siege workshop basically in BacT's face. Well, this is starting to look dire again for BacT. Oh, so dire in fact that he calls it.
Yeah.
Maybe just...
I'm kind of confused right here.
Maybe he just can't play with the lag.
Yeah, maybe you just thought this isn't going well. The lag is too heavy. I'm just gonna play next week again. this was not an elimination game, if I remember correctly. So
No, it's not an
maybe you just
elimination
thought
game.
the better of it.
But nonetheless, LaaaN progresses to the playoffs, where he will be the highest seed. And he will go play against the person who is third in the standings. It was a quick series. That series took under an hour.
It took under an hour in-game time.
Let alone real time. I mean,
It was 2 20-minute games.
LaaaN sweeps the series as well. We'll have a look at the statistics very briefly. We didn't get to see too much action that game, actually. There was a few mangonel. Oh, there was a mangonel shot.
Yeah, one mangonel shot, and the rest of it was
Wolves.
macro management, vaults, and strategy choices which worked out or didn't work out.
I think if BacT's able to get that boar, he stays in the game for a lot longer, right? It's obviously really hard for Incas to keep up with Mongols if Mongols have all of their hunt. And taking away some of that hunt is very important for BacT. If he's actually able to get that ball back to his TC, I think he has a very good shot of winning this game. He also needed to go to water earlier.
Denies the faster castle age time for LaaaN, right?
He was still up
Because
faster.
340 foods that he couldn't take for free. He would have had to at least wait 1 more minute for the fishing ship to gather that much food.
Sure.
Maybe even make more villagers, so spend food as well. It could have helped very much, but in the end, it somehow didn't work out. Maybe he could have sent the militia he built preemptively a little bit more forward towards his eagle to try and deny the scout from stopping the steal.
True.
But we have easy talk as casters.
Yes.
When you're playing, it's not always that easy.
It can be very hard to judge what exactly is the correct move to do in game. Of course, it is probably the most what's the word? What's the word to use here? Is the game with the most depth, and therefore making correct in the moment strategy decisions can be quite difficult for players at any level.